Yes, there you go. So yeah, we appreciate her. We don't need no wine of the week if she up here stirring up dishes. Drinks like this. So yeah, let's get the trash over with, and then we're gonna get to.
Also, tell the truth. We are not just a podcast. We're also a media group. So if you need videos recorded, if you need pictures, photo shoots, pictures taken, we doing all that. We are a 7 to 10 day turnaround time now that the boy in school. So we're trying to get your pictures. So hit us up in the inbox. We got the most affordable prices. We not only take your pictures, we do the makeup too. And so we got you.
Yeah, full packages. So styling, makeup, photography.
And we love people need styling.
Okay. Speaking of trash.
Help your people, Father.
Help them. So we're gonna start with Sir wanted to bring up Tory Lanez, and I'm not gonna give him a whole bunch of time. Megan told us who he was and what he did. They tried to cover it up, which is why she had to do what she had to do, and tell us who exactly shot Sis' feet.
Can you think of something?
And
get out. That is what I hear every time I hear somebody talk about it.
And I think it's just sad that she felt like she had to try to protect him, and then he didn't do the same.
The same for her.
First of all, surprising. Domestic violence of any type is totally wrong. It shouldn't be joked about or played about, and he needs to be deported for that.
He got to pay the consequences.
Because that was. Do not lay your hand or put your bullet into any person.
And then try to get your people to cover that thing up. And so that's why, and so this was the rude part. So he did an interview last week with one of those media world star type, blogs. And they mentioned something about his streaming numbers going down because of this. So when he decided to say something, he didn't say anything in reference to the shooting or apologizing to her. He was like, lies, my numbers is up. Sir, this is not the focus right now. This is not
the word.
This is so you prove that I am about that I was about to say. We thought you were, because you're defending your numbers and not speaking to the nature of why you got here.
That's the nature of what stuff is in this world today anyway.
So whatever. Anybody else got anything to say about him? Because that's it.
Nope.
Okay. I didn't know who he was before this happened. I just
listen. If you anything like me, and we have shared similar interests. We don't listen to that kind of music. We just
okay. Shout out to Megan though and Nikki.
Yes, shout out to Megan.
Worship and praise.
No, what it really is. I was like, this is a whole box.
Yes, Tori, and they should have turned
wonderful and powerful.
Yes, wonderful and powerful. Somebody told me the other day that it was whack a president. So I agree with that as well. So whatever you want it to be.
That's what it is for you.
But preachers, please do not use this.
No.
I'm going to take a drink of this on the
preachers, these flyers are not drawing people to your church or your online service.
This is
because the people that you're trying to get know exactly
what it means.
Tori said waffles and pancakes. Thank you, sir.
That's a good name for a restaurant.
Can we place?
That's a waffles and pancakes. Who don't like waffles and pancakes?
They gonna think you're serving up something.
But totally that's different. Not what exactly.
The paint. I'm clipping in the kitchen serving up waffles and pancakes.
That's a themed restaurant. If Uncle Clifford is serving up waffles and pancakes.
Yes!
Y'all can't steal that.
You heard it here first. If they take it for next season, y'all heard it here on September 12th, 2020.
Oh my God.
Uncle Clifford serving up, because you know they got the nice herbals in the chickens.
So we'll give you 10% on that. Because you came up with waffles and pancakes, and we're gonna have Uncle Clifford and the girls serving up waffles and pancakes. I like it. Yes. Come on with it. So, Odell Beckham Jr.
It is so close to football season and we hear all the foolishness.
This
is why these Negroes need to be.
There were some gals that were talking on a podcast. I guess it's several of these podcasts. I've tried to listen to one of them. I forget the name of it. Darn, it slipped my mind. But there are like 3 or 4.
Weezy? And them on there?
That one is Angela Yee's Lip Service. Oh. Then there's another one called Horrible Decisions, spelled WHOR.
That's too wild. That's too wild for me.
Some episodes, as an adult, I have to cut them off because I'm like, this is too much for me.
Oh, that's the podcast I need to be listening to.
Tune in, because sometimes.
Yeah. So I thought I was open.
So these 3 girls, I am not familiar with their podcast, but it's a similar podcast to, talking about all things grown women talk about and dealing with celebrities. And they asked the chick, is there a kink that you know of from a celebrity that God. you don't mind telling us? I didn't listen to the whole interview, but she mentioned, she said she was asked to defecate on a person, and she could not perform, and it was like, well, who is it? And she was like, Odell Beckham Jr. So the internet was set ablaze.
And see, this is my problem with that.
Number one, she could have gone to Taco Bell, and that would have happened real fast.
That would have been nasty. That would have been solid. But my problem is, why are you telling all this man business?
Right.
Obviously, he doesn't get them to sign NDAs.
That's why people need NDAs.
Woo!
That's why people need
NDAs. If you got $25 in your account, you need an NDA.
Yeah, and I don't know why he did not get her signed. But I loved his reaction. He really didn't give it any go. He was just like, he used a little wordplay, something similar to, and don't quote me on, something about SA being stirred up or whatever. So he used a little tongue in cheek trying to, downplay it. But the point was, this chick decided to share that's information.
A heck of a loose lip, man.
I mean,
that is a heck of a loose lip.
Talking about loose lips.
Oh, I'm scared.
We was having a discussion about a dude in the clergy ministry that was having issues with his loose lips women's. Mm-hmm. Mr. John Gray.
Oh.
And it was funny to me that somebody said at this table, bruh, you must not pay right. You ain't paying right. Because too many people talking.
You must not pay right.
I don't understand. You knew. Look, don't get me wrong. Relationships have agreements.
Absolutely.
Whether written or verbal.
And if you keep going out.
You, as a status that you have, I ain't gonna say, well, I can say it. If you're a side chick, you know your role as a side chick. Mm-hmm. Why try to step outside of that and tell this man business? Like, if this
because heifers catch feelings. Heifers know that they the side chick, but they get in their feelings.
But obviously,
and they want more than they're entitled to,
and she has not budged. So she ain't going nowhere,
right?
So you gonna try to up your status?
She's well practiced.
Exactly. I'm gonna stand over here, first lady, mm-hmm. And I'm, excuse me, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese, to most of us, is a side dish.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, somebody put that on the main course in some restaurants.
Sure.
And so mac and cheese has a complex about it that they think mac and cheese can actually be
the main
entree.
An entree.
Mm-hmm.
You will always be mac and cheese to somebody, and that is a side dish. So stop trying to get a whole bowl unless
Tati, you going in on the t-shirts with me say I am not mac and cheese.
I am not mac and cheese. I will go in with that. And
again, y'all don't steal that.
And you can put on the back. You will not dip your frying.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not mac and cheese.
I'm not mac and cheese.
Because that's it. But think about it. After a certain age group, mac and cheese no longer becomes
a main course. That's right.
So are you an adolescent?
Yes.
Or are you grown?
I don't know if you wanted an answer to that.
Yeah,
or are you grown?
Just in case.
Yes.
And some of y'all are still child.
Yes.
And that's why you running your mouth so much.
You childish in the heart, in the head, and in the pants.
Oh, no.
And in the spirits.
Well, that too.
Because if your spirit was right, you know how to shut your
When
mouth.
I was a child, I spoke as a child.
Come on now.
I reasoned as a child.
Wow.
Now I'm older. And I got sense. Act like it.
And I put away those
My
childish
things.
things.
Shout out to Jennifer Coles. I'll be coming to you. I need a t-shirt that says
I'm not
I'm
mac.
not mac and cheese.
Black junk with some yellow right now.
That's it.
And drip.
Oh, no, you know what? Somebody's going to take that the wrong way. Somebody is going to take I'm not mac and cheese the wrong way.
What could be another?
You know what they say when you stir mac and cheese up?
Okay, good.
I don't. So,
Dr. Dre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to leave that completely where it
Okay.
is. All right. Dr. Dre's ex and her,
My Lord.
what is it, 9 million?
My Lord.
A month.
A month.
A month for a full alimony.
She need a side chick.
And then she broke down
What she needed for. This was
what
the
she
foolishness.
needed it for.
Me.
And I don't remember exact, but I do remember for internet, telephone, and cable, she needed $20,000.
No.
It was $20,000.
The cell phone was
Right, that's what-
$20,000 by itself.
No, it
She
said
must have
meet,
spread.
comma,
And
meet.
entertainment was like $90,000 a month.
$90,000 a month.
So where's you getting
So
whole
the grand
cars?
total was like $9.2 million a month.
Oh, wait a minute.
per month.
I would like to know what she considers
Entertainment.
entertainment.
I mean, once you get
Because
into a lifestyle, I can't. What
if
I
a
look
du-
like inviting people to my house and I ain't got like the Caleb spread and all of that stuff.
That's not entertainment. That's
entertaining.
entertaining.
Maybe that's what you mean. But my thing is,
She got
the
so
charitable donation is what got me. Like, I need to pay you alimony to
give
give
So that,
charitable donations.
now I will say, stop looking at me like that. I will say on that, if you have been, because for some, I don't know how charitable donations work for those who are rich. Let's just put that
That's
out
true.
there.
Yeah.
But once you start donating at a certain amount,
They expect that.
they
yearly.
expect that yearly. So that I will give.
And they base their budget.
That's true.
Right, based
That's
on
true.
what they would receive from you. So if you normally a year give a charity $2 million and you drop from $2 million to $90,000, that's a huge hit.
That's true.
For the
I
charity.
didn't think about that. That's a good
So
point.
I can understand that being part of the alimony.
Mm-hmm.
Or it would have really but she wants the money. What she really should have done was made him do the donation in her name. As part of the terms of
and
the
I'm
divorce.
sure that's when it
what
boils
shoulda-
down, it's gonna go like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure the judge is gonna hand out $9.2 million a month.
I am like
per
the
month.
I need her cojones.
But and in
And
the
a rich
same
dude.
sense,
That's
you talking about Dr. Dre, and who knows what this woman has
it's been-
endured
right, because he has his own
over the
history.
years.
He has his own history.
I'm sure she has earned a great amount of this.
Nice.
But 9.2 a month, we ain't talking per year, a month. So you asking for more than several people make in a whole lifetime in 1 month. So I don't know, you know. Good luck to you, sis, because you know I don't know if that's worth. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they have kids together?
They're grown.
I believe they're adults.
Okay, so no, that's not even part of her 9.2.
Oh, she included education in there, so I don't know whose education that.
That joint was like $80,000 a month.
Right, it was like more than whatever Ivy League college goes.
$80,000 a month for education.
Yeah, and I don't know whose education that includes.
I hope it's her. I'm sorry. She don't need no more education because whoever put this up,
yeah, that was a lot. And so, last but not least. Joe Budden, he'll creep up into social media every now and then again because he'll say something off the wall. Now, I don't know. I didn't listen to this whole conversation again, but I've caught he was trending on Twitter. And I was like, Lord, what Joe say now? When I'm going through my Twitter timelines. And it was just a lot of shocks. And then I seen dogs. And then I'm like, shocks again. I was like, Joe Budden, what you say about the dogs? You know, people don't play about animals. What did you say? And it went something like, nobody in this room, now he's doing this podcast with like 3 other people. Nobody in this room can tell me you haven't tried to make your pet happy by pleasing them. And so the room was like, grew silent just as y'all looking at me. They was like, what you talking about? And he was playing with somebody's dog, and he was like rubbing the dog's belly. He's like, yeah, you know, pets need to get one off every now and again as well. Implying that he has done something to make his dog feel better every now and then.
He's expressed his canine.
Yes. Other than for breeding purposes. So, yes, that is why Joe Budden is trending on Twitter. Now I got an alert on my YouTube where he tried to explain this, which I haven't listened to. But he said what he said. He said what he said. And I don't know what other way you can interpret.
I got nothing.
That.
I'm done with that story.
Yep.
That story I'm over with.
Yeah.
Hey.
So he has said some crazy things, but that has to be at the all-time top.
That's up there.
That's up there.
I
got nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah, so
nothing.
Y'all, if your Twitter blows up like mine, my notifications and this pretty much our job.
Twitter is a very toxic place for me.
It is.
So I don't fool with Twitter.
But if we didn't do this, I probably would not tune in. But when somebody starts to trend, I have to look into why the people are trending.
I'm sorry.
And I'm mad I went to look to see why Joe Budden was trending.
I'm not big on the Twitterverse. I'm more of a Facebook guy.
Yeah.
I am an Instagram person.
I mean,
I used to be a Facebook person, and I will be a Facebook person every now and again. Like, I'll scroll through to see what people are posting and stuff, but
people get too angry on
man, look, the posting ain't the issue. It's the comments.
Yeah.
The comment section.
See, I don't be reading the comments.
Just like my boy Kurt Autry, he's a TV person now. He be joking all the time.
He's
hilarious. But they be going in on the jokes. And I'm like, yo, this is jokes.
But no. What's the best thing? I never look at his comments. I look at the pictures. I look at his caption, and I keep on going. I never look at the comments because I know when there's one that's good. He puts it on blast. And he like, now this is what we going to do about this. Yeah. So I don't even have to look at the comments because the good one will get.
He gagged the people.
He Captain Petty, man.
Yeah.
Captain Petty.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's enough of the trash for today.
I got one more before we get out the pop. Shout out to Brandy and Monica.
Yeah,
that was a good verses. My Brandy could have did less with them poems. We could have did less of that and just give us the hits.
She had a lot of soliloquies.
And then the fact that you was trying to really promote your new album that ain't nobody buying still.
Both of them have
people
new
are
albums.
buying.
Yeah.
People are buying Monica's new job.
People
are buying Brandy's.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not heard one song except for verses. You listen to the radio?
No. God, no.
And there's nothing on the radio, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not from that album, no. But
that's actually on my list to purchase. I haven't
You purchase albums?
Yeah, a lot of people that still purchase music.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks to Spotify, because I have not purchased an album.
But you pay for Spotify subscription.
Yes.
If I'm going to pay for something, I want the album.
You want to keep it. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Music is very personal to me. So if I am going to pay for something, I'm not paying a music subscription. Where that if I choose not to continue with the subscriction, I lose my music. Right. I want my music.
Yeah. But you also deal with Apple products, and we don't.
Yes. I actually got Apple products. The only reason I have an iPhone is because I wanted an iPod. Oh. And I was like, my phone is dying, so why not kill two birds with one stone?
Let me tell you about my issue with the Apples.
Oh, geez.
I had an iPod before. It was nice. It was a good iPod. But then, because I was always been anti-Apple, I got this thing called a Zune. Z. You remember Zune? I love my Zune.
I never had a Zune.
We had Zune.
We had it.
I loved it.
And then it just, I guess Apple broke their back.
They didn't
said nah. They said nah. And I was like, no.
All I'm hearing in my head is Sheldon from Big Bang Theory about come to think of it, when iPod came out, I got a Zoom. And Amy's like, what is that? Exactly.
We were Zooming.
Oh, we were Zooming.
There was about 50,000.
Oh my gosh.
Man, it was, we had, I think I got the big one that was like $90. Mm-hmm. And I had like
they stored so much music. They stored a lot of music.
So what did that was Sony, right?
Yeah.
No, I think it was. Yes, it was.
So Sony in itself, I don't understand why it doesn't exist. Like, there's plenty of places for technology, so I don't understand why it doesn't still exist.
I think just it was not. It
was Microsoft.
Was it Microsoft?
It was Microsoft.
Okay.
It was Microsoft.
And Microsoft still exists as a company. Yeah. So
they wanted to get out of the music, I guess.
It's just like Nike. Because Nike had sports bands like Fitbit, and but they was like, yo, we really not making no money.
Nike also had a whole bunch of problems with theirs. Because I follow one of the authors that I follow. She had the Nike band when it first came out, and then she had so many problems with that she switched to a Fitbit.
Yeah.
Because she had a lot of problems with it syncing. I don't even think they've worked out all of the technical issues that they had.
They don't have them.
Before they dropped it. Yeah.
Yeah, but, and then this week, Sunday, tomorrow, I don't know why they do it on the opening week of football, because you're going to lose a lot of men, and too many men will be checking this out.
Listen.
Ain't too many chicks either, but what you talking about?
Auntie Patty.
The auntie
Gladys. Like, I don't
and shout out, I think Monica actually won. I didn't think she was going to win that battle.
But you can tune in and just have the TV on mute. Because commentators for football get on my nerves sometimes. So I will
look at his face. He's not going to do that.
Commentators for football get on my ever-loving nerves sometimes.
I get you. I understand what you're saying.
But you're not going to not listen.
Because I don't like Chris Collinsworth. I can't stand him when he call the game. But it's the calling of the game.
And see, I will watch it so I don't have to have it called to me. I will just watch the game.
I turned out.
My neighbors thought I was killing somebody when I first moved into my townhouse. I moved into a football.
And so with that, I don't like Dick Vitale at all anymore.
No.
I can't. His game is played out, so I don't.
He needs to retire.
I turned the TV.
I sound like a petulant child. He needs to retire.
He's like 90. Go sit down somewhere. Yeah. They don't even give him the big games no more.
We're gonna get into our cruxes because you can go on about the sports.
Yeah.
I actually have a sports podcast. Yeah. And that was 30
There is a viewer on YouTube.
Okay.
Hey, viewer. Oh, hi, Jerry. It's like pretty people.
But we gonna, since your viewer is on,
it's time.
we're gonna get into like the meat of our show today. We have a guest, and I want you to tell us first of all who you are. Tell us what your full time is, like what you do. Okay. And then tell us. Well, do that first.
Okay. My name is Tatiana. I
You don't have to give us all your government information, but just,
I'm looking.
Just tell us outside of what you're here for.
Okay. Cuss. I'm an avid cusser. No,
I have perfected
the art of cursing. No, I don't really talk that much about myself, and Jerry is like laying me out right now because she hates that answer to this question. Sorry. Yeah, my full-time gig is I work for local government, and that's as far as I'm going to go into that. Don't ask me no questions because I ain't got no answers if it's not my time to work.
I know that's right. So Tatiana and I graduated together, the RICO class of 97.
Jeez Louise.
So we graduated high school together.
Oh my word.
We were choir girls.
Yeah.
Because Tati has an awesome voice. I don't know what she's doing with it now.
Singing in church.
That's it. This was for Jesus.
Yes, singing in church.
So yeah, that is how we know each other. But we noticed, and thank you for your loyalty, when we started doing YouTube, Tatiana was front and center before anybody was.
That's right.
But she also has a podcast. So a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that is why we invited her here today. So just tell us about your YouTube channel. When did you start it? What made you start it?
Okay.
And then go into delve into your books.
Okay. The name for my YouTube channel is Musical Tati, and I think I started it I developed the name for my channel before I started actually doing videos because I needed an avenue where I could save videos that I was watching so I wouldn't have to go searching for them later. But I started doing videos, I want to say in 2014. Oh, wow. 2013 or 2014. And my videos are primarily about books that I read, books that I like, books that I don't like. And there are a couple of vlogs that are in there. I thought I was going to be doing more vlogging this year, but COVID.
I know. Right?
And yeah, I've always been an avid reader. So I started making YouTube videos because the types of books that I have grown into enjoying reading more as I became an adult, I had no one to discuss those books with. So, because I read a lot of what my in real life friends call weird stuff. My mom's gonna be so proud of me.
You're doing excellent. I'll speak for her. You're doing so awesome.
So yeah, I didn't have a community of people that I could discuss that with. And one night I couldn't sleep and I was just scrolling through and I was like, well, let me see if somebody has done a review about this. I didn't even know BookTube was a thing. And I found 2 videos and I was like, well, this is nice. And then I found Black people.
Right.
And I was like, this is better. And I was like, let me put my Black hind parts into this community and this conversation. And that's really how it started.
How many would you take a guess? Because that would be the first thing to surprise me, that Black people are heavily involved in BookTube. But how many would you guess?
Black creators?
Yes.
It's over 100.
Really?
It's over 100, and I'm not subscribed to them all. I haven't found them all. I have very good friends that I have met through YouTube who do an excellent job of searching out. I am someone who gets extremely frustrated with having to do a lot of searching.
Right.
And I have really good friends who search well and enjoy the finding new people, and they will send me links to channels. But it's more than 100 of us. YouTube won't let you know that it's more than 100
of course,
of us.
They're not going to let us love on each other.
Right.
You know what? We need to have a Black people's YouTube.
Well, there is a point.
There is a summit called YouTube Black.
Right.
But it's beauty creators, vloggers, like family vloggers.
The industry is inundated with
that.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think I have watched a YouTube Black, because sometimes they will have either the vlogs because I don't think the YouTube Black organization actually posts anything. I think they rely only on the people who attend to post their content. But I've only seen one person, again, that I'm aware of, who has talked about books on her channel. She's not a booktuber. She's talked about books on her channel, but she's primarily a vlogger and beauty creator.
Okay, so it's usually they have multiple avenues on their vlogs, and nothing is usually centered towards booktubing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So why?
Okay, and Jerry said it's 500 plus. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I did not know that as well. All right. So why do you think that is for us? That number one, Black people reading outside of, because I know we good on fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we good on nonfiction because we will read the list of Black books we're supposed to read to stay up on our, the biography of Malcolm X. And we good to stay up on those. But we won't delve into the weird stuff. The stuff that could actually, might be able to lighten your mood a little bit, or that is outside of something that is so serious. Why do you think there's such a gap for us?
I honestly don't know, because the people that I talk to who don't read love to listen to me talk about what I've read. So I'm like, why won't you read? I don't have time to read. Well, you could do it as an audiobook. Mm-hmm. I really think I think part of it is that it's a choice. Also, like growing up, I got hit with the bookworm and nerd and all of this stuff when I was in middle school. I didn't care. But I think those types of responses from your peers when you're growing up affects a lot of people in a different way.
I think it's so much culturally what you're into, because I never really was into like reading for fun. I read to debate. I need a reason.
I can totally believe that.
I need a reason to read. I need a reason a lot of times to do it. Like if it's for a project, like I read and study the word, I do research, I look at books, I do all this stuff, but it's for a specific task. Yeah. And I think task-driven people read for tasks.
Yes.
And when, being a sports guy and being a person that not only watch sports, but enjoy playing sports, the task was I need to accumulate as much information about the sport. So not only could I be better on the field, but also be able to intelligently talk about it. And that came up basically, Clinton James. Clinton James, I had a sleepover one night. I was like 10 years old.
Okay, I was like, wait.
No, but that was wrong. Hell no. That's weird.
I was like, is that called a sleepover? Okay.
Had a sleepover for, and Clinton James, they were avid sports guys. Like, looked at sports all the time. I really didn't look at and watch sports. And they talked for at my sleepover, they talking to each other to like 3 o'clock in the morning about the Cardinals.
And these are 10-year-olds?
That's how deep. That's how deep it was at 10 years old. And I said, from that point on, I was like, yo, I have to stay up to be able to intelligently have conversation with my friends.
Well, I think that's good. I think having that. My friends, when I was growing up, they talked about Boys in the Hood, and it was on Minister Society and Juice, and so it was like I can watch these movies, but I can also read a book. I had nobody to discuss, to have like intelligent conversation with about. That sounds really, really bad.
No, but I get that.
To have intelligent conversations with about things that I was either reading or things that were going on. That's why I spend so much time now, when I came back home from college, a large community that I hung around with were people who were 20 years older than me.
Right.
Because those were the people that I could have an intelligent conversation with about something.
Been like an old soul.
No, my mom says that all the time.
But see, I think that is the reason why a certain set of people are drawn to one another because of the similar characteristics that we have with each other, and being able to read or being able to do things. Just like my daughter, she asked for books for Christmas. You're like
Good child.
9 to 10 books for Christmas, right?
She was done before she
was done before she went back to school.
That's a girl after my own heart.
But I'm like,
I've
yo.
never seen anything like it.
And I think because of the way, for me, myself personally, I've always been into music. I've always been into sports. I've always been into television. I'm a television guy.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody at work is like, how do you have time to watch
so much TV,
so much television and all these shows? It's because I'm more so in the visual reaction to it. Now, I don't listen to music as much, only when I'm like working out or when I'm driving in a car. But talk radio, podcasts,
are it.
I am. And it's like, yo, I need something
to stimulate
my mind because I can't only listen to WAP so many times before it's over. I can only listen to some other things.
That's true.
But the sad part
I'm thinking like that's true. But then again,
I think there's a stigma or and it comes from growing up. Mm-hmm. So like, and I didn't know whether you would be offended by that or not because I said we were choir girls, but we were choir nerds.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Glee,
right?
We were Glee.
All day.
We were Glee, period.
And that's why y'all were so drawn to that show too.
Yes, because it was the only show that came out that really looked like what choir looked like for us when we were in school.
I mean, you walked into a room and we started singing off rip, and it was just
and it flowed.
We ain't had no rehearsal. Hey girl, what's going on? Boom, we singing this a cappella right now. Just bust out and song. That was real life.
That was life.
And
every day it was glorious.
But there's such a stigma. Like even now, I mean, it's getting better now. But you got, your band geeks, your choir geeks, and you got black kids that like anime. And now it's acceptable. When we were in school,
I couldn't tell nobody that I spent my Fridays watching Dragon Ball Z.
That's what I'm saying.
You cannot tell people you actually like Guns N' Roses at one point.
You could not.
You're right.
You could not.
When that Terminator 2 soundtrack came out, man, look, you could not.
So reading is a part of that.
Yes.
Like there was such a stigma that was not
absolutely
going to be considered cool if you tell somebody, what you do this weekend? Well, I read about 5 books. For what? Did you have a project? No, I used to have
And let me tell you how early it starts. I tested out of reading when I was in 3rd grade. So from the middle of my 3rd grade year to 5th grade, when you actually had a structured reading curriculum, I went to the kindergarten and 1st grade classes to read when my classes did actual reading. And I used to have to like sneak and look like I was in trouble and going to the principal's office.
So nobody would know.
So nobody would know that I was going to verbally read to the kindergarten and 1st grade classes for an hour.
Let me ask you this question. Because a lot of this is cultural and your background. So are your parents college graduates?
Mm-hmm. My dad's a doctor. My mom's degree is in education. She taught Spanish before they moved here. Okay. And then she graduated in 3 years. My mom's amazing.
And you had a college educated mother as well.
Yes.
But you got both sides of the track because you got a ghetto side.
Yes.
And your relationship. Wish I had my phone because I was been playing that joint right there. But then you look at it as well. As we talk about this, and this goes also with the school to prison pipeline. You look at this as well, where you got a lot of single mothers raising children or broken families, and the reading is not really pushed because they're just trying to make
they're trying to make ends meet.
And they want you to get good grades.
Right.
And one of the things
some of them don't even care about that.
Yeah, they if you get good grades, good.
If you don't get suspended,
yeah,
good. It's not even if you get. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
If you don't get suspended, good. When I was teaching, I taught for a very short period of time. My degree is in music ed, but when I was teaching, I asked the kids what they were doing, what they did for spring break, and the kids' response was they watched the fight that happened in the neighborhood that weekend. Like that's what. But I was like, that was the weekend. You had
What
a whole
was the rest of the
week
summer look like? Yeah.
dragging out of them what they did during that week, and for a good number of them, because their parents had double jobs. I had elementary school students who were babysitting their siblings.
Yeah.
So there is not like they're starting with, I have to take care of these kids. I don't have kids. I'm still a kid, but I have responsibility for children.
Yeah.
But I get that, because even when my grandparents lived around the corner from me, which was a blessing in and of itself. My mom was a nurse. She worked swing shifts, so sometimes she's 7 to 3, sometimes she's 3 to 11.
That's my stepdad worked at DuPont. I hate that swing shift.
And so you're looking at this, and in order for me to stay at home, I had to be responsible for my two little brothers. At this time, I'm in middle school. Mm-hmm. And as long as we ain't set the house on fire,
it was all good.
As long as, and my mom was a straight A student in high school. She made Dean's List her freshman year at Hampton, and then she had me, so she had to stop and figure out a way. She had to figure out a way to make ends meet, so she became a nurse.
Dean's List at Hampton.
Yeah. But my mom wanted us to read, and she read to us, but it was never, yo, I need you to read these books. Mm-hmm. In this house, we have books for them to read when they want to read. Mm-hmm. But we don't be like, yo,
you need to read.
You need to read.
Yeah.
But Destiny caught the reading bug early. The boys read like I read for information purposes only. I need to be able, and I think this is also, I need to be able to do something with this knowledge. If I can't do anything with this knowledge, it's no reason. And that comes with sports. That comes with video games. It has to be applicable.
But there are things that I have learned. Like I learned after graduating college that historical fiction is something I should have been reading when I was in high school.
Along.
Because I sucked at history.
But when you think about it, it's so good.
Yeah, not even it's so good. I couldn't remember dates. I couldn't remember names. Right. But I can read a historical fiction novel and then research the actual events that happened during that time, and it sticks more in I retain it better. I'm like, dang, had I known this when I was in high school, I would not have flunked out of history.
and see, that's crazy, because history,
it's so juicy.
I
got my history. They didn't test it on my history.
No, but I'm just saying, it goes back again to what I'm getting this information for what? Mm-hmm. And so, when we talk about, because she reads all the time too, I'm like, yeah, I really can't get into that. I'm sorry, but it was a book I read. What was the books you had started reading? Those series, Left Behind series.
I flew through that.
And that interests me because of
its word.
Yeah. Then I also read the Lawrence Taylor biography. It interests me because I was interested in Lawrence Taylor. Mm-hmm. I bought the Michael Vick book for her. I read that book.
All right, Homer.
It is actually. I have to have some type of connection. Just like I want to read. What's the genre we was watching? Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I saw the size of that book. You got intimidated.
You could be reading for years.
Not years.
I got intimidated. I was like,
his time, the way when he would pick it up, he would be.
There may be years. Maybe years.
And so, and when you talk about audiobooks, and it gets kind of mundane to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I don't.
It depends on the narrator.
So
the
a lot of people it becomes white noise. Like it's just something in the background.
The narrator makes a difference, but also there are tons that I'm happy about. Like I'm happy to be here and see y'all, but also about this because there are tons of different ways to read and reasons to read. As I'm a highly fictional reader. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of people who do read to get information and to use that information. I can buy a nonfiction book. I bought Becoming. I ain't picked it up yet. I made sure I got the one that didn't have that blasted Oprah sticker on it. But I will get to it.
And I made myself finish.
I think that's great.
I made my, but it wasn't to me when people were raving about it.
It wasn't. It
I was
didn't
like,
live up to the hype for you.
What we talking about?
Yeah.
And I love because she's an idol, and I was like, I want to like this. I got midway through, and I'm like,
this ain't it.
Yeah.
It's in the back of my head.
I literally I bought it because I wanted to read it, and I can read like if I read one nonfiction book a year, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
And see the same thing. I listened to episode 1 or 2 of her podcast, and then episode 3, I was like,
You need to have you listened to LeVar Burton's podcast?
It's so good.
I couldn't get through episode 1 when she was talking to Barack. I couldn't get through that.
I love them together.
Me too.
I do, but I'm just like, you know, most of our experience with Barack Obama is less than an hour at a time.
Right.
So listen to him for
less than an hour.
Because that was like 45 minutes to an hour. That episode 1.
And most of his speeches was 20 to 30 minutes.
Sermon length.
Technically, for real, the only thing, I don't even watch a whole football game straight through.
Well, that just could be your attention span.
Exactly. Now, I pop in and out, because at 1 o'clock, now I love football.
He's a flipper.
I have to, the red zone is my joint. The red zone is my joint.
The first time I sat down watching the red zone, I was at a friend of mine's house, and I was like, wait.
What is this magical place?
When do we pee? Because it just kept flipping. I was like, when do we pee? I really have to go. But it keeps flipping.
The octobox.
It's everything.
That's good for y'all.
It's everything.
Because I don't like commercials.
Yes.
I flip through. I boom, 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 and then a lot of times, if I'm not watching the red zone, I'm trying to watch a full game. I sit down here and fall asleep. Wake back up in third or fourth quarter.
And see, I will read during the game. I will. How? Because
Because football is not continuous.
No, it's not. That's number one. But also, I'm always, regardless of what game I'm watching, I never watch a game ambivalently. I'm always rooting for one side. So, and I also pay more attention to offense than defense.
Okay.
So there are periods of the game where I'm more attentive than others, and also ADD is a thing. Like
that's why I was about to say. That's why y'all like that red zone.
Yeah, I used to read with music playing because I couldn't watch TV during the week growing up. I used to read with music playing and hearing Seinfeld, but that my stepdad was playing in their bedroom watching TV. All 3, and it was heaven for me.
And you be playing Animal Crossing.
And I be playing. Animal Crossing has cut into my reading. I know
it had. Some had to give. I knew that.
Cut into my reading so hard. So hard.
Because I said I'm supposed to be finishing this book upstairs, and I was like, do I pick up the controller or do I pick up my book?
It's so bad.
And that's another thing that reading when growing up. I was a video game junkie.
See, I could only play video games on the weekend.
Only
when my parents gave up the television because I didn't have my console in my bedroom.
3 to 11 or 7 to 3.
Her mother was not having that.
And we had swing shifts. 3 to 11.
I'm trying to
and if I got too loud while playing the game,
the
game had to go off.
She shut everything.
Look, let me tell you something.
Down.
We got out of school at 2:15. I made sure if I didn't have football practice, I got home at 2:30. My mama.
How you get out of school at 2:15?
They was in the city.
I was getting home at 4.
Because we didn't get out of school.
And I live right around the corner from John Marshall. So I got home about 2:30. But my mom got off at 3. I knew it would take her 30 to 40 minutes to get home. Then she had a loud Chevette, and so I could hear it on North Avenue as it turns the corner.
No, that was coming down
And so if I was in the middle of a game, because back then it wasn't a whole bunch of saving and you had to do all this.
Yeah.
Just cut it off. Cut that sucker off. went and sat in the kitchen like I was doing some homework, and I was straight for the rest of the
Let
day.
me tell you, my stepdad got that, like, knocked that real quick out of my system. This was way before I got a Nintendo. He came home from work because he worked swing shift, and he was working 8 to 12, I guess. No, 4 to 12. Came home. I turned the TV off, heard him coming in. Turned the TV off. This mofo came in my room, put his hand on the back of the TV, and it was hot.
It was hot.
He unplugged it.
And it was hot.
He unplugged it, put it in the closet, and I didn't see it for about a month.
It was hot.
Never again. I was so stupid. I didn't even think about the fact that the TV gets
But
hot.
I wouldn't have thought you were going to go check
Right.
the TV.
And he just walked. He literally just walked in the room and put it. And I'm laying in the bed trying to act like I'm asleep.
No,
Like,
ma'am.
this nigga
Got your
baby.
number.
this is another thing that I did. You know, the Nintendo had the power button on it, and it was red.
Yes.
I got a black magic marker and colored it. And so, if I was almost getting caught, I would just cut the TV. My mama wasn't as thorough as your stepfather.
Yo.
I just cut the TV off with the Nintendo running.
Man. Okay. This is too much. So how many books do you think you've read?
In a lifetime?
No, I'm talking about since your passion has expounded.
Probably a good 300. Because I do about 50 a year. Before I got
50
heavy into YouTube, my goal was to get to like 30. And then I managed to get to 50.
Okay.
So
So give us your list, because we're gonna bring this to a close.
Okay.
Give us your list of what to read. I guess you can do top 3 or 5.
top 3
Yes.
Okay.
What to read first.
to read first. Parable of the Sower.
Now look, I need to write these down.
Yes. Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. It has a sequel. I'm recommending both, but start with Parable of the Sower. It is exceptionally sower, like
Sower.
the parable,
Greek? Okay.
like the parable of the
Okay.
Bible. It's a play on that. It's Octavia Butler was a soothsayer. Like, she could see into the future.
Okay.
Because it is so, what's in that book that was written 20 years ago
It's
is
relevant.
right now.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
scary. It's right now. Okay, top 3. If you are into historical fiction,
Mm-hmm.
I would say The Last Thing You Surrender by Leonard Pitch Jr., which is an excellent World War II story. I'm big into World War II Holocaust type stories are my thing. And then I don't know if I want to recommend Sugar or The Book of Harlan by Bernice. Sugar is so good. By Bernice L. McFadden.
And the fact that she remembers authors like nothing. All right, worse.
Don't
Okay.
put these authors' names.
Yeah,
out
don't give us the authors.
Okay, number one, worst to call something a worst book is always it's a matter of opinion.
Okay, right.
So these are books that were tripe for me.
Okay,
All right.
They may not be tripe
they were.
for other.
This tripe.
Tripe is
It's a disgusting.
city.
It's a disgusting part of an animal.
animal.
Yes.
For our city school.
So they left a bad taste.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Like chitlins.
Like chitlins. Like chitlins.
Oh, boy. Okay. Beautiful Disaster.
Really?
I hated that book.
Okay.
I absolutely hated that book. I would say the 50 Shades series,
Oh,
but
it's
it's horribly written,
It's
but
bad.
I laughed so
I
hard.
did laugh at it,
I enjoyed reading that so hard.
but it was bad.
But it was bad.
I agree.
And let's see. I don't really know if there's, because it takes a lot. Oh, Daddy's Baby, Daughter.
That don't even
No, wait. Daughter. Something is, what is it? Daddy's Baby, Mama's Maybe, something like that. I hated that. I don't like books with couples who are like, it's not with couples who are like have infidelity issues, because sometimes the work through that is nice to read. But this is a book where the mother starts screwing the daughter's boyfriend, and the only reason why this is not child abuse is because he's freshly 18. And I'm just like,
it was disturbing.
It was disturbing, and it was disgusting.
Okay.
And then I said I didn't like it. It was funny. The author took it very well, because the author, I guess, saw the video or something. Yeah, and she commented with like some of her other books, but the titles are in the same vein. I'm like, I don't want to read this crap. Why are you writing this?
How often does that happen? And then the author will contact you, or will comment. Will comment.
It's I want to say it's only happened like 4 times.
Okay.
But every time it happens, it's like, holy crap, you watched my video.
Yeah.
Alexander, what is this? The man who wrote the book 40 Acres. That is a good thriller.
It is.
It is. It is oh my God, it's a good thriller with one heck of a twist.
Okay.
Oh. But I did the review for that, and he commented on the review, and I like messaged my friend Dee Dwayne Alexander Smith. That's his name. Messaged my friend Dee immediately. I was like, oh my God. I turned into
cool. Yeah, that would be. I wouldn't even worry about what they were saying. The fact that they watching your video.
He watched the video, and he said that one of the characters, who was one of the characters in the story that I didn't like, but he was like the leader of the group of men that are being discussed in the book, that he would like my review. I was like, okay, I can live with that. Yes. I can live with that.
You have any more questions for Tati before we get out of here?
Nope, I do not. I do have a comment, though.
What is it?
Because we had a discussion about 4 or 5, almost 10, 15 years ago now.
Oh, Jesus.
We was talking about,
Look, do I remember this?
We was talking about the Zane books.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
And I asked her this question. Because I used to have some magazines. And I said, what's the difference between this magazine and this book?
Room for imagination.
Thank you. That's what I said.
But then I asked this question. I said, would you let your children read this book?
Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not.
But it's still
it's an adult book.
Exactly.
That's
what I said about the magazine.
But no. There's a difference between erotica and porn. There's a difference.
There is a vast difference.
There's a difference between erotica and porn. Let's get real. I read a butt ton of V.C. Andrews books when I was in middle school. I should not have been reading those books. Yeah. I read Flowers in the Attic when I was in like 6th or 7th grade.
I watched the movie 20 times.
Should not have been reading any of those books. But the characters in those books are teenagers. Right. So technically,
adult things happen
to them, but technically they are young adult. They're teen young adult books. Yeah. Zane books.
And it's an adult book.
Every character is an adult.
Mm-hmm. That's what I say. Neither one of them should be seen by children.
But you had your stash of magazines
right.
As a child.
Alvin, I don't know.
As a teen?
If you heard earlier, yes, you are considered a reader if you do audiobooks.
Yes, audiobooks are reading. Comics are reading.
Yes.
Graphic novels are reading. Manga is reading.
The Walking Dead.
I can't do zombies. I can't do
The Walking Dead graphic novel. No, have you read that? Have you tried?
I don't know. I can't do zombies. My zombie is Thriller. That's it.
The Walking Dead joint was amazing. And I got mad.
I did Resident Evil.
I got mad because the television show veered so far
It
off.
did. But
I
it
was
also
like-
so did Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they did. They
But
said
I
the
never
same thing
read
with
Game of Thrones.
And so did True Blood.
True Blood went way
way
off.
less.
Yeah, True Blood after about season 4, it was
No.
It was like
Season
2.
1. It went
I never
way
read.
less.
I never read. And,
Well, no, yes.
and you know what?
Season
And
2.
that's why a lot. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Okay.
Look into the camera. Well, camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. This is one of the reasons I don't read, because I don't want to be disappointed by the visuals.
You can't set yourself
But you
up
can't
for
set.
that.
But no. See,
Because
and this
waiting-
is why I read the book first.
Waiting to excel, I was so pissed off after I read the book. I was mad after I read the book.
Do you know my white Spanish teacher stole that book from me? She asked to borrow it and never gave it back. 11th grade.
Wow.
I was like, this heifer could have bought her own book. I spent my money to buy this
And
book.
she got a
She ain't
whole
want nobody
real
to see her
job.
back.
She got a whole real job.
She didn't want nobody to see her back.
She could have probably got that joint out the library and right go.
No, she didn't.
No, I wasn't in the
It
Henrico Library.
It wasn't.
But I'm
But
just saying though.
VC Interest books were in the Henrico
isn't
Library.
that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
All right, y'all.
But do you have anything you want? We want you to shout out, of course,
Yo.
your channel again.
Channel name is Musical Tati, and also if you are interested in reading and you need something to read, I am actually participating as a co-host in a slow read of all of Octavia Butler's books. And we're starting with Kindred, and the live show for that is going to be the 27th at 1 Eastern Standard Time on my friend and Jerry's channel. So if you would like, you can follow me on Instagram, Musical Tati, musical_Tati, and then YouTube is Musical Tati as well. And yeah, I share stuff there. I have not been as active on Instagram as I normally am because COVID and mental health. That's the whole thing.
A
So I had,
3-month vacation.
had to protect my peace.
That's why we ain't been here since June.
Yeah, so but yeah, we're starting with Kindred, discussing that, and you have 2 months to read each book. And so yeah, I have only read, the only thing that makes me sad about this is once we finish this, I will have read all of her bibliography. I only have 2 books that I haven't read left by her. So
Wow. Well, we thank you for coming.
thank you all for inviting me. I was
You did so good.
thank you. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like face to face.
Shout out to Blob.
Yes.
Moonshine Mine, MOODSHINEMINE. And if you go to the Instagram page, click on the link in the profile or in the bio, and it will take you to the blog page.
And she posts a ton of beautiful
Thank you.
beautiful pictures, aesthetically pleasing pictures. Tyann has always had her own sense of fashion.
My
and
nerd stuff.
Yes, but I love how you have like totally embraced it. It's like I'm just gonna share it with everybody. So
I don't know how
if you
nobody
ain't
else
following
with me.
Yep, if you ain't following her, you need to, just for inspiration period. Because I get inspiration for coloring stuff.
Okay.
From looking at some of your
I
pictures.
appreciate
I love it.
that. And thank you for being one of our loyal
You're
listeners
welcome.
as well. I
You're
certainly
welcome.
appreciate it.
Also,
And-
don't forget to
You got a new podcast?
yes, I got several things going on. Don't forget to like our Instagram page, like our YouTube page. Those of you on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube page, not just like it. Football season has started. The Disciples of Don podcast, which is a podcast on the Miami Dolphins, a weekly podcast show with myself as one of the quad hosts, James, Rodney, and Bumpy G will be hosting that show. He's a comedian. That's his stage name.
Okay.
Also, Hawk Status Fitness. Hawk Status in Progress on Instagram. Hawk Status Fitness on Facebook. So we'll be getting my certified personal trainer certificate soon. So look me up, and I'll be posting different workouts on there that you can do at home, or you can go to the gym. And I do post videos. I actually did one of those those marketing things they have on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got at 1 o'clock. I had 697 views on that page.
Wow.
So it will be growing.
Awesome.
It will be growing soon. So just look at. I'm chubby. and I love fitness.
You can do both.
You can do both.
You can be both.
And because I like to eat. I like pizza and French fries.
Pizza is a lifestyle.
Yes, but
thank you, Alvin.
But we also shout out to Alvin and the group because he's helping us stay healthy during this COVID period. And
we keeping you up.
He is done with us. All right, y'all, we signed up.
Ready to go. You meant that. Like hard.
He is ready to get on. He is ready to get on his game. Jesus.
Okay.
No,
he
I'm not.
meant that.
And I gotta join in another podcast right now as we speak. So peace.
All right, good night, y'all. Thank
Good
y'all.
night.
Thank you, Tati.
Thank y'all. Peace out.
Peace.